Hello, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about customer profiling, the thing that we think perhaps in your industry, you might not spend too much attention to just how your customers' behaviors have changed, your habits have changed, habits are changing, not only just because of COVID-19 and the pandemic since March 2020, but perhaps in your industry as well, you are seeing other factors at play that might be affecting how your customers behave and interact with you, firstly because they have to, but what new habits is that forming so that your customers might want to continue those trends that have arrived. We talk a lot about staying in control, controlling the controllables, if you like, and it's really important these days to get to know your customers more than just the headlines, more than just the broadest level of profiling. Now, in our training, you might have seen me do the customer profiling exercise and really drill this topic home, put it right at the front of our time together, because ultimately helping a defined group of people is what we're all here for. And it's what we should be really committed to doing and staying really nicely in touch with them and on point with what our customer groups want and expect is our responsibility. It's something that we have to be practiced at, have to be able to adapt to, but also spot trends that are coming so we can be relevant to those people moving forwards. You can see on screen the example that we use. This is in our core training. And we run around some simple probing questions to find out more about your best customer groups. Now, who are they? Yes, at that highest level, give them a bit of character, give them a bit of color so you can create a mental picture and connect with that customer straight off. What's their problem? They might have got changing, moving problems and issues that you might or might not be able to help straight away. But it's not until you can connect to that emotional driver behind their surface problem that will prevent you from just going in with a buy my stuff message that might help you actually show a bit of empathy and understanding about your customers because you understand how it affects them emotionally. Where are your customer? We'll dive into that in the statistics I've got to share soon through the research that I've been doing for this topic. It's changed, hasn't it? Where your customer was 2 years ago, 6 months ago, has it changed? How has it changed? What does that look like? You're experts in your industries as well as we are in ours, and we've noticed changes from our customer base. So what's happened? Where are they now? It's like a game of hide and seek. Only this time it's not going back. Things are only moving forward at an accelerated pace, and we have to keep up with that rate of change. And again, it's on us to look at ourselves and ask ourselves what we can do differently to stay better connected. And then we've got the why not you, the why you, and the when is the right time to connect, which I have covered and will continue to cover in other videos. But it's probably the who and the where that I'm going to focus on in this video that we want you to try and take some actions on and some steps moving forwards. So I did some research around the topic just to try and back up and validate more about what we try and share in our time together, based around the customer profiling, not only for its importance, but why it really connects with what's happening in the wider markets. So I've got some references from a great blog called User Guiding, some McKinsey research, and some Salesforce research that you can see on screen. Just very briefly run you through this. You can read them there, obviously, on the screen, but I just want to challenge how they might connect with you and any experiences that we might have seen likewise. Now, obviously, video conferencing has become the most effective channel. I think we can all connect with that one. However, online, when you're having those digital meetings that aren't face-to-face, video meetings are preferred by 75% of B2B buyers over just simple phone calls or just audio. And why is that? Well, we think it's because people like to see you. They want to make that human connection over a digital space. Human digital connections. It's super important that we embrace that. And if we are shying away to a more traditional platform such as the phone, not putting our cameras on Zoom team meetings, then we're missing an opportunity to connect, because the advancements in technology mean that we're as close to having human connection as is possible via a screen. So we have to embrace that, especially as 75% of B2B buyers prefer to see you on a digital setting. 73% of millennials will be taking part in B2B sales processes probably this year or certainly by 2023. And since it's well known that millennials look for personal connections instead of settling for fancy marketing efforts, we have to take that step, don't we, to strive at a more personal level and not just be the catalog sellers, the hide behind marketing, the sharing posts without any context. We have to show that we get our customers, that we understand our markets and want to engage at a more personal level with them. It has to be where our role sits in a modern sales approach. 68% of B2B buyers require brands. You know, that's leading on from the previous one, where it's well known that millennials look for personal connections. 68% of those B2B buyers require brands to understand their personal needs and wants. So what can you do differently here to start to more deliberately take control and understand more about what it is that your customer wants and needs? This wholly reflects back to the who are they, where are they, and what do they want of your customer profiling. So hopefully here you can really start to see why it's important to take some time to connect back to customer profiling. This one interested me, that 90% of sales have moved to a video conferencing phone or web sales model, i.e. remote. Not surprising there, but more than half believe it's equally or more effective than the sales models used before March 2020. I would love your input on that. Is that what you're seeing? Is that how you feel? Are people still in the post-pandemic wave and still therefore seeing the benefits? Is it a bit of a lagging indicator, or is it a trend that's here to stay? It'd be good to know your thoughts around that one. B2B companies see digital interactions 2 to 3 times more important to their customers than traditional sales interactions. So we are just seeing trends, aren't we? That's from the McKinsey research, which I'll post links to. But we're seeing trends where it is going more so digital, but the importance and relevance of digital connections, I think, are becoming more apparent, because we would not see a digital connection as a human connection or a relationship. Whereas I think this is becoming more apparent now, that especially the millennials that are becoming more influential in your marketplace, they value this digital space in terms of building real, meaningful relationships just as much, if not more, than face-to-face. And 84% of buyers are more likely to buy from a company that demonstrates an understanding of business goals. I mean, from the Salesforce research there, I mean, if there's a statistic that should hopefully trigger you to start digging deep into customer profiling and really understanding more about your buyer personas and what their organizations need and want from potential partners and suppliers, perhaps that should be the one. 84% of buyers are more likely to buy from you if you understand what it is that they want, what their problems are. So hopefully some help there to get you started and back in the mood for customer profiling, something that is often marketing's job. It's not my goal. Anyone's a customer. It's different in our sector. We hear all the reasons not to do it, but hopefully there we've found some good inspiration to help trigger the thought process. It'd be good to know what happens in your spaces. Do let me know based on the statistics you can see on screen. Feedback is always welcome. And yeah, customer profiling, super important. We'll see you guys soon.